Hello, welcome. Thank you for joining us on this edition of News 2. I'm Sandra Gumansing. In our top story, beginning Wednesday, February 1st, the VI Water and Power Authority's new rates for consumers in the territory will be implemented. A St. Croix activist asked the public to join him in protest to those changes, and the residents came out. Here's more.
Don't pay your bill. Don't pay your bill.
With chants, signs, drums, and horns, boisterous protesters took to the parking lot in front of WAPA's St. Croix office to show how they felt about the rate increase effective February 1st.
You are being borderline criminal. You need to come out here, face the people.
My message is that, come on, man, read the shot.
Enough is enough.
Now 40%, I 70% they gone up. Where we gonna get money from? I'm a starving taxi driver.
I just paid my WAPA bill, and I couldn't afford to buy a nice, decent placard, so I asked for a piece of paper, and I did this.
At the forefront were several issues, including WAPA officials in 2014 promising a decrease in rates, plus how the new rates would affect local businesses and the burden it puts on consumers.
I just retired December 31st. I don't know when I'm going to get paid. So my thing is, you're going to raise WAPA? How am I going to get that money to be able to pay that 40%?
That's such a great burden because so many people are out of jobs and barely could pay what they're paying right now.
When WAPA increases 40% come February 1st, everybody will feel the pain. And numerous businesses going to close again on St. Croix.
We set our hearts looking forward to receiving lower rates. But instead, we were deceived.
Many of us, with our WAPA bills, we have to choose if we're going to keep the lights on, if we're going to buy food, if we're going to buy medication. I think it's wrong. I think we should have had public hearings.
Gary Anthony, News 2.
Now, a smaller protest was held on St. Thomas at the Early Otley Legislative Hall grounds early this morning as well. Although smaller in number, St. Thomas protesters echoed the concerns of St. Croix protesters regarding those new rates. Meanwhile, Senator Alicia Chucky Hansen announced that in the wake of the ongoing bombardment, she says, of high electrical costs and no true rationalization as to why residents of the territory are constantly being hit with high energy bills, the senator says enough is enough. She says she has submitted legislation that would prohibit the Virgin Islands Water and Power Authority from increasing electrical power bills by 40%. The action was previously approved by the Public Service Commission, and the senator is seeking to have the action rescinded. Senator Hansen says the proposed legislation will require the legislature to review any and all proposals of price hikes that are more than 3.5% and to analyze and make the final determination on any increases that affects the residents of the territory. The senator further indicated that the proposed legislation will require the approval of the Senate and being signed into law prior to any increase beyond the authorized allotted percentage to the PSC. Well, on Monday, as we reported, Attorney General of the Virgin Islands, Claude Walker, announced that the Virgin Islands made an agreement with Toyota of the Virgin Islands to extend the free removal of defective crash safety Takata airbags. Bureau of Motor Vehicles Director Lawrence Olive updated the community about the airbag recall and when Virgin Islands residents can expect the removal. Residents can contact the Bureau of Motor Vehicles on the island of St. Croix or St. Thomas to get more information on the airbag recall and repair of the Takata airbags for Toyota cars, trucks, and vans. The dates are February 3rd and 4th on St. Croix and 11th and 12th February on St. Thomas. You could bring your vehicle in or schedule to have them replaced free of charge. And just a reminder, Lawrence Olive, Director of the Bureau of Motor Vehicles, reminds representatives of all car rental agencies to a public hearing on Thursday, 7 p.m. at the Bureau of Motor Vehicles St. Thomas office, which is located at number 72 Subbase. He says the purpose of this hearing is to discuss the raising of the rental quota to 4,000 as approved by the governor. As we shared, a vehicle traffic change was implemented by the Department of Public Works on Main Street on Tuesday. Officials say the temporary change was effective enough to become a permanent one. Here's more. The Department of Public Works allowed a trial run of one-way traffic on St. Thomas from the stoplight in front of the Market Square on Tuesday to gauge if a change would make a difference.
We are doing a trial run for all the taxi drivers coming out of Crown Bay in getting the taxi drivers to drop the tourists and the lower end to walk up east to Main Street to catch all of the businesses going through. As far as we see it is working so far.
The day's event also included music, dancing, and a presentation.
So on behalf of the governor and the governor's office, we welcome partnership through the Senate and all the other branches of government.
We met with some of the business owners in the Lower Main Street area where they asked for this revitalization. Immediately reached out to the administrator, and Mr. Administrator, thank you for excellent job. Do appreciate the job that you did with Public Works and all the other agencies. So I must say thank you very much for that.
Officials say this trial run has worked successfully enough to consider it a permanent plan.
The merchants on this western end of St. Thomas Main Street have been suffering due to the excavation, the road work that is taking place. One side, the northern side, has no business in the block before the Market Square block because the road is excavated. So the other side was suffering as a result, and we all got together and decided that we're going to set up a plan in place, which is now in place and is obviously very effective.
Business owners were also pleased with the trial run and happily thanked the officials.
This is a trial run, and we're hoping that after today, we could implement this permanently so that we could ease the traffic, not only going up to the Emancipation Garden, but give the downtown stores an opportunity to make some money.
You know, so many stores are closed in the area lately, but now because of this thing happening, it will again open up the small businesses like us. So, you know, family-owned businesses, it will help us out.
And we have a very, very positive thinking that it's going to be, I hope they're going to continue doing that for the rest of the time.
I think it is a welcome relief. Our block was dying completely. Like you can see, the Market Square was completely dead, but I think this is going to give a kind of little lift to us. And we do appreciate that for thinking about us. We had already almost given up that this is ever going to happen, but you guys promised us and you kept your promise. We do really appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
It seems to be working very well. We are asking more of the local business owners to think about reopening their businesses during the day so that they could too have a piece of the pie with tourists being dropped off on the western end of Main Street.
Now, the trial run of the one-way traffic was from the stoplight in front of Market Square, plus in the area where the Salvation Army resides. The one-way road made available parking spaces for safaris and taxis to load and unload the tourists. Senator Marvin Blyden was a key player from beginning to end, as well as many government agencies partnering together. Well, don't forget to tune in to the State of the Territory address on Innovative Cable Channel 4 at 7 p.m. Governor Kenneth Smapp's third State of the Territory address will be held on Monday, January 30th. The Territory's chief executive will speak before senators, officials, and the community about economic conditions, government initiatives, and other matters. We will air that address on Innovative Cable Channel 4 at 7 p.m., so be sure to tune in for that. Virgin Islands Congresswoman Stacey Plaskett has been named ranking member of the Oversight and Government Reform Committee's subcommittee on the Interior, Energy, and Environment in the 115th Congress. She said it is her plan to bring much-needed attention through hearings, field work, and investigations into the federal government's role in regulating our resources, energy policy, fish and wildlife program, and public lands, in our case, national parks, are all overseen by this subcommittee. She says, I want to use this position to highlight the delicate balance that must be struck to allow Virgin Islands industries to flourish. She said she also plans to highlight how the federal government has not fully considered the effects of regulations to private property rights and its impact on the livelihood and economic growth in the territory. Turn our attention overseas. President Trump is fulfilling one of his most contentious campaign promises, to build a wall along the southern border. Even though he was sworn in last week, he is claiming voter fraud. Here to unpack all of this is Diane Gallagher.
President Trump is making good on one of his most contentious campaign promises.
Don't even think about it. It will be built.
Today, signing executive orders to divert federal resources to build a border wall between the U.S. and Mexico.
Beginning today, the United States of America gets back control of its borders, gets back its borders.
Trump's order also ends sanctuary cities and adds some 5,000 border agents. He's also set to push through additional controversial promises, including a temporary ban of refugees and the suspension of visas from some countries that Trump deems terror-prone. But Trump's executive moves are being overshadowed by, well, himself, as he doubles down on his claim that millions of people voted illegally in the election. Now Trump is upping the ante, tweeting that he's calling for a major investigation, even though election officials say there is zero evidence so far to back up his claims. Trump's press secretary was pressed on the topic.
This isn't just about the 26th election. This is about the integrity of our voting system.
Democratic and Republican lawmakers are urging the president to move on.
So I would urge the president to knock this off. This is the greatest democracy on earth. You're the leader of the free world, and people are going to start doubting you as a person if you keep making accusations against our electoral system without justification.
In Washington, Diane Gallagher.
Keeping our eye on the economy, the Dow made history on Wednesday by crossing over 20,000 for the first time ever. This historic milestone leaves the Dow up a stunning 1,667 points since President Donald Trump's victory in November. The jump in stocks is also a reflection of the solid economy Trump inherited from former President Obama. Wall Street appears to be betting that Trump's plans to slash taxes, ramp up infrastructure spending, and cut regulation will make the American economy grow faster. The U.S. has added jobs for a record 75 straight months, and the unemployment rate is sitting near a 10-year low. The unemployment rate is now at the lowest level since 2007, and corporate profits have climbed to record highs. Let's take a look at the stock market watch at the New York Stock Exchange. According to the numbers there, we can see the Dow up 155 and the NASDAQ 55, S&P 500 up 18. Coming up on News 2, we have much more straight ahead, including crime reports. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Police say on January 24th at 11:30 a.m., 47-year-old Cuthbert D'Souza was arrested for assault in the third degree. They say on January 14th, Cuthbert D'Souza assaulted his girlfriend with a pickaxe handle, breaking her arm in the process. Advice of rights hearing was held on January 25th for D'Souza, where bail was set at $15,000. He was remanded to the Bureau of Corrections Detention Center. And here's a quick reminder. The Virgin Islands Department of Education, St. Thomas St. John District, Office of the Insular Superintendent, they're reminding parents of the early dismissal of all public schools on Thursday, January 26th. Dismissals will take place 3 hours before normal release times and are necessary to accommodate monthly job-embedded professional development for teachers. Lunch will be served before students are released, and buses will be dispatched to the schools to transport students to their normal drop-off locations. School will resume on Friday, normal time, January 27, and those are the release times right there on the screen. So take a look and take note of those times. Well, in other news, team members of the National Youth Cyber Education Program competition, Cyber Patriot, they were honored recently at the St. Croix Career and Technical Education Center, where many tributes from coaches, teachers, school administrators, sponsors, and family members took place. 4 teams representing St. Croix Educational Complex, St. Croix Central High, and St. Joseph's High have successfully completed preliminary rounds in the Air Force Association Cyberspace competition. Here's more.
We've had the first induction ceremony of the Cyber Patriot participants. This is a program that is sponsored by the Air Force Association. We had students that were inducted from Central High School and the educational complex. The instructor is Mr. Gregory Christian, who teaches here at the St. Croix Career and Technical Education.
It's a great feeling. It's a wonderful experience, matter of fact. I'm grateful to have this time and effort to work with everybody and to be taught by a great teacher and also to learn and have more experience.
You made Virgin Islands history. You are the first.
Well, as you know, at Innovative, we are very invested in the community and especially our youth. And one of the things we're very, very interested in doing is looking at the next generation of Innovative, not just Innovative employees, but innovators. And so we were very, very pleased to be able to participate in this program.
Well, here's a reminder, the air conditioning issues with the air conditioning unit located at the Charles Harwood Complex on St. Croix, that continues. The Department of Health is providing all services between 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. until Friday, January 27th. Count on 2 to keep you updated of any change in schedule. Virgin Islands Ear, Nose, and Throat welcomes Dr. Eric Stelnicki, board-certified pediatric and adult plastic surgeon, to the practice. A range of treatments previously unavailable to children living in the Virgin Islands will now be available, such as cleft palate repair, cleft lip repair, craniofacial surgery, plagiocephaly, which is the flathead syndrome, birth defects, post-traumatic facial reconstruction, and other pediatric plastic and reconstructive surgery. Be sure to count on 2. We'll have more on some of the treatments available. In an endeavor to determine the number of homeless people in the VI, the Department of Human Services is asking for your help. The Virgin Islands Continuum of Care 2017 Homeless Point-in-Time Survey is this Friday, January 27th, from 6 a.m. to 12 midnight. Now, each year, the department works with Catholic Charities of the Virgin Islands, Methodist Training and Outreach Center, Inc., St. John Community Foundation, and other nonprofit faith-based organizations to help the displaced on our islands. If there are areas in your community where the homeless congregate and need help, you can contact Ms. Brenda Walwyn at 340-774-0930, extension 4104. The count assists with meeting federal requirements for funding as well as services. Be sure to mark this on your calendar. The big event is coming up very, very soon. Love City Live on St. John. We told you a little bit about it last week. Well, entertainment kicks off this week. It's the entertainment event of the year. A whole weekend of beach, music, boating, and more. There's an incredible lineup of renowned reggae artists that will kick off on Thursday, January 26th. The Hush VIP Soiree, Friday, January 27th, it's the all-white beach party. And then Saturday, January 28th, the big event, Reggae in the Ruins. That's featuring Dwayne Stevenson. Sunday, January 29th, the Powerboat Party. And then Monday, January 30th, Back to Reality. Tickets are available online or at the gate.
What we do on a daily basis is kind of what we put into the product. The Powerboat Party is what we do on the weekends. You know, we jump on one of our boats and we go out and go to the BVI and go and hang out with our family over there because, you know, USVI, BVI is one family anyway. But we do that boating. Reggae, that's what I grew up on. That's what got me through college. You know, that one love vibe is what kept my mind straight as opposed to straying off into that kind of stuff. There was always message in the music. So I feel like that's an intricate part of keeping our community where it is with that one love. So that's the reason why it's Reggae in the Ruins. But we try to put all the elements, or a lot of the elements of the local culture and the local flavor into it. So, you know, you obviously there'll be intermingling between the people who are there. We don't have a VIP ticket for that day because our feel is a one love vibe. So we're all in it together. But you get to taste and sample all the various local foods. So we have several local food vendors that will be doing all of the local dishes, the fungis, the fish, and that type of thing.
Be sure to check that out. Governor Kenneth Mapp has issued a formal notice to Public Works Commissioner Gustav James to begin work on the long-anticipated Paul E. Joseph Stadium project in Frederiksted, St. Croix. Governor Mapp originally delayed the start of the project to request additional funding from the legislature to purchase additional land to expand the project. The Paul E. Joseph Stadium will be a modern sports complex that has been designed to latest standards with the capacity to provide state-of-the-art facilities for local athletes and attract sports tourism to the island of St. Croix. Stick around, your News 2 AccuWeather forecast is coming up next.
on radar, well, we're showing this cold front that has passed through the region off towards our south of the Virgin Islands. So we saw some more cloudy or more cloud cover throughout today, as well as some brisk north winds coming out towards St. John. So closer look at the region, you can see this cold front dip through earlier today. Those cloud cover mostly held off over the Leeward Islands for now. That's going to continue over the next few hours. However, a couple of spotty showers around Puerto Rico and also just off towards our north. So moving in throughout tonight, we'll continue to see the chances of an isolated shower or so with the remains of that frontal boundary still in our area. Mainly clear, however, 72 degrees for our low tonight. Now, kicking things off, moving into tomorrow, we'll continue to see temperatures in the low 80s, mostly sunny skies as we head through the rest of our time here. We're not seeing any small craft advisories, although we will see those brisk winds continue out towards St. Thomas and St. John's and even down into St. Croix, especially the northern facing beaches. We also have a moderate risk of those riptides moving on in as we head in towards tomorrow. So our waves 3 to 5 feet, winds on the northeast 10 to 15 knots on the Atlantic side. Should be a good day for boating for us, however, and that also extends over to the Caribbean, 2 to 4 feet for our wave high, and winds on the northeast 10 to 15 knots here. A look at our extended forecast. Well, seems like we're heading towards some very nice weather, though we will see a couple of showers possible, especially through the weekend as well. Our temperature is going to rise up into the mid-80s, so it is going to be warm as well as mostly clear. That's going to stick with us through Monday as well. Once again, can't rule out those showers in spots, but overall we have some light trade winds moving through, so it should be a good weekend ahead. Back to you.
Not too bad. Good news for those who are thinking about checking out Love City Live there with the boating and everything going on. Thank you for that. Time for our News to Weather picture there by Devontae Samuel of Ricardo Richards Elementary School. We can't miss the sunshine there and some fun outdoors, Devontae. Thank you for that. Send your News to Weather picture to the address on the screen. Be sure to include all the information we need, school, age, and a little description, and then tune in to see it right here on News 2. We'd like to thank you for joining us for all the latest. I'm Sandra Guman Singh. Be sure to tune in tomorrow. Have a wonderful evening.